I think actually you just reminded me. You said something about the people the with the lawyer. You're not invited over to their house for dinner. And I'd actually say, well, yes, but actually no. You are kind of invited to these fake community get-togethers. Like for example, you've guys doing business deals, playing golf or whatever, and it's kind of like it actually is a kind of a quasi community.
Mm.
Um, and it's kind of like you said, we can't shake off these. I don't know what you call these mythical realities, but they are just deep-rooted, maybe needs and mechanisms that kind of fulfill those needs. So, for example, to talk about boomers for a second, and this is something that I think is probably different for our generation, but I know that a lot of I would say my parents really genuinely enjoyed their place of work, and they actually really enjoyed the relationships they had with those people. But I don't know that people our age will find that. No, I don't know where I'm going with that, but basically,
I know exactly what you're talking
but
about.
but
Mm.
maybe what's happened is maybe there's been more of a fracturing basically since the 1960s or whatever of like we're all like back then for them it's like we're all working for this organization and we're all pretty much the same and we can all commune, literally be part of the same body. And even though they're not doing it as part of a church, it kind of acts as a church. And not necessarily in a bad way. But I feel like now work isn't really like that for an organization anyway, or for a company. And it can be, but it just feels a bit fake when it is. But Graham, what were you going to say there?
This is something, this is internet-based consequence here. The difference between our generation and the boomers is that the boomers almost didn't even have an avenue to discuss how it could be better, right? For them, the workforce and the way it was back in the day, it's just what it was, right? So they were having to subconsciously retrofit the human condition to these workplaces. So it's okay that they enjoyed those things. I can't imagine trying to convince someone that the life they enjoy actually sucks, right? That's kind of what we're doing. That's what Gen Z is doing. We now have these open forums where we can dialogue deeply about our feelings with next to no consequence, but back in the day, that wasn't possible, right? It's the stronger social thread that our parents and their parents had. It was stronger, yes, but in a way, it was so strong that it actually contained a lot of bad things about society, right? And so it was a double-edged sword, really, to have a stronger society at that time. But that time that they had was just along the timeline of post-industrialism, right? That's just where there was a high quantity of things, there was a lot of money to go around. And so within the framework that they inherited, that was the best thing they could do. The framework's now falling apart, and at the same time, we have huge forums and a lot of anonymity to talk about what we really feel about those things. So now we're able to look back and be like, yeah, they enjoyed it, but maybe they shouldn't have. It's kind of like with monarchy. I would never say it's a good idea today, but for the time, it was good for what it was.